Men today are living a happier life without relationships, and I'm going to prove to you why this trend exists by the end of this video. Our generation is lost, and men are realizing more and more that getting involved with a woman is becoming riskier every day. Do you agree with me that there are situations in a relationship that can destroy a man's psychology and even his life? If you don't agree, I'm going to show you two cases. The first was about a man who, after years of hard work and struggle, discovered that the child he raised with so much love and effort was never his. He was deceived for 40 years. Hold on, if that situation made you really upset, I'm going to tell you the second one, where a man got married and worked for years to pay for his wife's college education. Right after she graduated, she ended the relationship, claiming that she's now at a different level and this man is no longer on the same social level as her. Now I ask you, what would you do in either of these situations? Put it in the comments because I want to know your opinion. Faced with this reality, thousands of men are choosing to remain single for self-preservation. We live in a time where a man expressing his opinion can result in social cancellation and loss of everything he's achieved over the years. In today's video, I'm going to show you, among these reasons, 7 others that will leave you shocked as to why modern men prefer to stay single. First reason, disposable culture. Relationships end easily over superficial reasons. We live in a time where everything is replaceable, and relationships don't escape this logic. In the past, couples faced difficulties together and sought to resolve problems through dialogue and patience. Today, at the slightest sign of conflict or discomfort, many people simply give up and move on to the next relationship. A man can invest years in a relationship, build plans, sacrifice his individual dreams, and suddenly hear that she's not happy anymore or that she needs to find herself. This disposable mentality transforms people into temporary objects, and many men are realizing that it's not worth investing emotionally in something that can end over trivial reasons, like an argument about which series to watch or because he forgot a special date. Second reason, unfair protective measures. Men can be expelled from home based only on accusation without proof. One of the most real fears that men face today is the possibility of losing everything based only on an accusation. Protective measures were created with the intention of protecting real victims of domestic violence, but unfortunately, there are cases where they are used strategically in marital disputes. A man can be expelled from his own home, which he himself paid for, without the right to prior defense, just on someone else's word. He loses access to his children, his belongings, his routine, and needs to prove his innocence while already suffering the consequences as if he were guilty. This imbalance in the legal system creates an environment of insecurity where many men simply prefer to avoid marriage or cohabitation to avoid this devastating risk. Third reason, facilitated infidelity. Apps and social media made cheating more accessible. Technology revolutionized the way we relate to each other, but it also created a minefield for fidelity. Today, anyone with a smartphone has access to thousands of potential partners through dating apps, social media, and direct messages. What used to require effort and social exposure now happens with a few clicks and in the privacy of a phone screen. A man can be building a family, working to support the home, while his partner maintains parallel conversations, receives attention from other men, and even arranges meetups without raising suspicion. The ease with which betrayal can happen today has transformed trust into something almost naive, and many men are choosing to avoid serious relationships rather than invest in someone who may be one swipe away from infidelity. Fourth reason, paternity fraud. Cases where they discover they're not biological fathers after years of paying child support. Imagine dedicating decades of your life, raising, loving, and supporting a child, only to discover you were deceived from the beginning. Paternity fraud is one of the most traumatic experiences a man can face, and unfortunately, it's not as rare as it should be. There are documented cases of men who paid child support for 15-20 years, created deep emotional bonds with children, and upon taking a DNA test, discovered they weren't the biological fathers. The worst part is that in many countries, Even after discovering the fraud, the man continues to be legally obligated to pay child support because he assumed socio-affective paternity. This cruel reality makes many men question whether it's worth risking their emotional and financial stability in relationships where trust can be so easily betrayed. Fifth reason, modern hypergamy. Women can abandon a relationship for a financial or social upgrade. Hypergamy is the tendency to seek partners in superior social or financial positions, and in modern society, this manifests in increasingly evident ways. Many men report situations where they invested in their partners, paid for education, supported careers, helped with personal and professional growth, only to be abandoned as soon as they reached a better level. It's as if the man were a step on the ladder of female success, useful during the climb, but disposable when she reaches the top. There are countless reports of men who supported the household while the wife studied, and right after graduation or promotion heard that they're at different moments in life, or that she deserves someone at her level. This dynamic has transformed many men into investors who never see returns, and increasingly they're choosing to invest in themselves instead of in relationships that can end the moment they stop being convenient. Sixth reason, lack of recognition. Male efforts and sacrifices are rarely valued. One of the most devastating aspects of modern relationships is the complete invisibility of male effort. A man can wake up every day at 5 in the morning, face heavy traffic, work 10, 12 hours a day at a job he often doesn't like, just to ensure his family has a comfortable home, food on the table, quality clothes, and some leisure on weekends. He gives up his personal dreams, postpones that trip he always wanted to take, sells the sports car that was his passion to buy a family vehicle, cancels outings with friends to be present at home, and sacrifices hours of sleep to solve household problems. And what recognition does he receive? Most of the time, absolutely none. Worse yet, he's constantly questioned about what he didn't do or what he could have done better. Forgot to buy an item at the store? It becomes a reason for argument. Came home tired from work and didn't want to talk. He's accused of being distant and insensitive. Current culture has created a perverse narrative where male sacrifices are seen as basic obligation, never as acts of love or dedication worthy of gratitude. Meanwhile, on social media, these same women share posts about dream relationships when they see a stranger bringing flowers to his girlfriend or making a romantic surprise, as if these one-time gestures were superior to years of silent dedication that their own partners offer. The man who supports the household, who's present in emergencies, who solves life's practical problems, who guarantees stability and security, that man is invisible. But the guy on Instagram who posted a romantic video, he's the ideal husband. This disconnect between real effort and perceived recognition is leading thousands of men to a logical conclusion. If my work and sacrifice aren't valued, why keep giving myself? Many are discovering that when they live alone and invest in themselves, at least they directly reap the fruits of their own effort. They don't need to deal with the frustration of giving everything and still hearing that it's not enough, that they could do more, that they should be different. The lack of recognition isn't just ingratitude, it's a slow poison that kills male motivation to invest emotionally in relationships that only drain without ever nourishing back. Seventh reason, absence of drama, life without constant emotional conflicts. Peace of mind is a treasure that many married men never knew, but that single men discovered and refused to trade for any relationship. Imagine waking up every day without fear of what you'll find, without that heavy atmosphere in the air that you don't know where it came from, without the passive-aggressive silence that lasts days while you try to guess what you did wrong, without fights that start over absolutely nothing and escalate to arguments about problems from years ago that you thought were already resolved. When you live alone, you don't need to deal with unfounded jealousy because a coworker commented on your photo. You don't need to justify why you took 20 minutes longer to get home. You don't need to attend endless dinners at your mother-in-law's house every Sunday. And mainly, you don't need to ask permission or give explanations about every aspect of your life. Want to go out with friends on Friday night? You just go. Want to spend the weekend playing video games or watching football? No one's going to judge you or make you feel guilty for not spending time together. Want to eat pizza at 3 in the morning watching an action movie? You can do it without hearing comments about eating habits or entertainment choices. But the absence of drama goes far beyond these practical daily freedoms. It's about mental and emotional health that many men didn't even know they had lost until they recovered it. It's about not living in a constant state of alert, trying to predict what will be the next trigger for a conflict, which poorly chosen word will transform a casual conversation into a war. It's about not having to emotionally manage another adult person who should be responsible for their own feelings, but who transforms every personal frustration into a couple's problem. How many men live decades walking on eggshells, measuring every word, censoring every opinion, living a diminished version of themselves just to keep the peace, which actually never exists because the next explosion is always on its way? Single life offers something these men forgot was possible: emotional predictability. They wake up in peace and go to sleep in peace. There's no anxiety about coming home not knowing which version of their partner they'll find. There's no need to decipher moods, interpret sighs, or participate in mind games where you should know what she's thinking without her needing to speak. Many men who experience this tranquility report the same thing. It's like taking off a 110-pound backpack that you'd been carrying for so long you'd forgotten what it was like to walk light. And once you experience this lightness, this genuine peace, the idea of voluntarily returning to constant emotional chaos simply becomes unacceptable. If this video made sense to you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment "gratitude." This helps the algorithm spread this message to other men who need to know the teachings of our channel. Each interaction strengthens this mission to rescue male self-esteem and heal wounds that many hide in silence. Thank you for being here. Keep following along, because every week we bring reflections and tools to help you regain emotional control and become your best version. Big hug, and see you in the next video.